Welcome to the Living in Sedona channel. I'm Cami. I'm one of your local real estate agents that serves Sedona and the Verde Valley area. And today is hike day again. However, it's kind of not a big hike day. I want to tell you where I'm at. We're going to be doing the Midgley Bridge Trail, which is pretty short and sweet. Behind me is the Steamboat Rock Mountain Formation, whatever you want to call it. You know, I had to get used to calling them mountains because I just think they're rock formations, but whatever you want to call it, that's what we'll call it. So we're at the trailhead. The trailhead parking isn't very large. I would say maybe 15, 18 cars. You do need a Red Rock pass for to be able to park here. But I want to tell you, this trail is actually a nice short trail. It's just like a little over a mile. There's not a lot of elevation gain. You're actually going down underneath Midgley Bridge, which you'll see. But this is a great trail for if you want to get in the creek. You can get to Grasshopper Point, so you can get in the creek, or if you want to enjoy some fall colors that we're starting to see. I don't know if we'll see any today, but if you're here during the leaf change time, then this would get you into some of that color that you might be looking for. So bring your dog, bring your kids. We've done this trail before with the kids. Yeah, let's go. So when you first start, guys, just know there's lots of steps to go down, because you're going down under the bridge near the creek. So just make sure you are aware of the steps that you have to go down. You got the creek? You get a peek of the creek underneath the bridge when you come down the stairs. But that's not the end of the trail. I also forgot to mention, have your All Trails app loaded. You'll once again see how it's a quick hike, but I just want to mention you're going to have service when you leave. It probably will be spotty as you get closer down towards the creek. So just keep that in mind. It's a pretty well marked trail. You shouldn't get lost. So after you get past the initial down and then up, the trail is pretty flat, which is kind of nice. Okay, so when you get to this point where there's some trail markers here, just be aware of which way you're going. We're gonna go straight to Grasshopper Point, just because that's the way we're going today. We have gone down to the creek from here, which means you would make a right off of the trail. And I'm just gonna tell you, be prepared for you're gonna walk down, but if you come back that way, it is a steep, butt burning grade. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna do that today, but that's a good workout. So just be aware that you would, if you're going to the right, you're gonna switch to the Huckabee Trail, okay? Just want you to know which way you're going. And then obviously this one is just pointing you back to the parking lot. But we're going to Grasshopper Point. It's so pretty. Look how green it is. It's just so gorgeous. You can just never tire of this. Unless you're an ocean girl. Like my sister's an ocean girl, but I don't know. It only does so much for me. This is another great stopping point that you could get closer down and to look into the canyon and where the creek is. And I just am amazed at how green it is. And we've had some rains the last few days, and that is what is the result. I just love when we have the greenery with the red rock. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And you can see the creek. Okay, so when you get to the part of the trail where you're seeing the pavement, this is actually the turnoff point from 89A when you're going up in the canyon to Grasshopper Point. So you would pull right off of 89A, you would go down, and there is a man-maintained booth that you have to pay a fee. I think it's like $5. It might be $7. It's 12? Oh my gosh, remember it was 5. Well, that tells you how long I've been here, but you know, that's not how much it costs when we grow up the kids here. Anyway, okay, so Greg and I are having a discussion because when we started this trail, we were supposed to go to Grasshopper Point parking, which we've already passed, because now we're not to the parking, but we're to the pavement where you turn off at 89A. So now my husband has made this trail longer than this hike longer than what I originally planned for. So it's not going to be a mile. So now I have to video this so you can see Grasshopper Point. So just so you know, this is not the original plan. And it's not just a mile. It's probably going to end up being 3 miles by the time we're done. Can you sense my frustration? Okay, so now you're seeing this is where you park if you want to go to Grasshopper Point. So you didn't have to park at Midgley Bridge if you don't want to. If you want to get close, then you can come here and park. However, if you're coming during tourist time, I'm just going to tell you, it's so packed. That's why people park at Midgley Bridge and then do the trail that we just walked. So just keep that in mind if you're coming during a busy time, that if it's busy and packed, park at Midgley Trail at the bridge and then just walk an extra mile. I want to just say there's a lot of rocks and boulders to walk over. So if you're not steady, you might not want to do this part. There is an outlook that you can just look, but you know, we don't do that. We go. Look like an old lady coming down there, don't I? Just take your time. That's all this is take your time and be careful. You can see how you have to walk through this right here to get to the creek. So when you get down to the creek, I just wanted to stop a minute and kind of let Greg give you a span of, there's just areas that you can kind of spread out. And there's people here reading, meditating, so I'm trying not to be super loud. But I'm shocked at how little people are here. Usually it's pretty busy. But I just wanted to kind of give you this view so you can see where you can kind of spread out underneath some trees, and there's some sandy areas. And if Greg doesn't fall, that way you can kind of get an idea of the areas that you can spread out and just take in the beautifulness of it. Isn't it just so beautiful? All right, I just wanted to point out the cliff jumping area. There's nobody up there right now, which again is strange to me, but you can kind of see where the dark water is. That's where you're aiming for, because that's where it's deepest. Every one of our kids have jumped off of that, including Greg. I'm sorry I don't have video footage of that. But if you wanted to do that, you would go down the creek a little bit, where you would cross the creek, and there's an area down there where you're able to climb up out of the water, and then you would walk across these ledges that you see to the right of you in the screen, and then you would climb up to that cliff jumping area. Well, we're heading back to Midgley Bridge, but I wanted to stop here and do my ending thoughts. I wasn't planning on doing that whole hike, but my husband obviously had other plans, which was totally fine. I really enjoyed the creek today. It was nice and quiet. I hope you enjoyed the footage that we were able to get for you. And we're seeing these clouds again. If you didn't watch the Sherman Mountain Vista Trail, where we kind of were running against the storm, I'm kind of feeling that way right now, so I kind of want to hightail it out of here because I don't want to get stuck in the rain like we did that. But yeah, so overall, I think it's a good hike for those who have good knee and ankle strength. If you're going down to the creek, those boulders that you got to climb over, I'm just telling you, if you do not have good ankle strength, don't do it, because you will be walking out of there with a sprained or broken ankle. So just be mindful of that if you're going down near the creek at Grasshopper Point. Also, if you're wanting to get in the creek, then make sure you bring your water shoes, because the water, actually, we tested it, was nice and refreshing. It was just perfect, honestly. So anyway, like, subscribe, and share. Make sure that you check out the Sherman Vista hike if you haven't already, because that was a fun hike. And make it a great day living in Sedona. I'll see you next week.